What's up? Here we are back.
We've come crawling back.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. I was looking for a pair of scissors, but I can't find them. How are you, Johnny?
I'm doing great, man. Like $1.50 on nickel beer night, you know?
Really?
That old thing, yeah.
How's the wizard?
Good, man.
Yeah, you're still there. There he is pushing the buttons. You can't do anything without that guy. Bless your heart.
Yeah.
Well, it's hotter than a fox in a forest fire here.
Yeah.
But
Golden Touch Studios, our air conditioning is a tray of ice cubes with a small little fan. So
yeah, it's and then the squirrel's old. The squirrel's old.
Yeah. Well, this is an old building, and
It's a bunker.
it is kind of a bunker.
Super secret location.
Yeah.
Golden Touch Studios, a Crow Village production.
Yeah. Close to our heart.
Yeah, it is close to our
Close to our heart and our holster.
I got an extra one if you need it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So the world's treating you well.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Great to be back. It's we've kind of cut down to every couple weeks now instead of once a week. So it's always fun to come back and get started. And
it is. I was somewhere yesterday and I can't remember who. Somebody came up to me and said, that thing about the Denver airport, you know what I mean, from the show.
Oh yeah. The conspiracy show.
Yeah, the conspiracy show. People are watching, and it's entertaining and we have fun doing it. So we're just going to keep fucking doing it until we can't.
Yeah, it was just like music. I'm going to keep doing it until they stop hiring me.
Yeah.
Who knows when that's going to be? But
I don't think that's going to be anytime.
The conspiracy show was interesting because we got that got taken off. You can't even see it anymore because
you can see it on Rumble probably.
Right, you can see it on Rumble, but not on YouTube. So we did our experiment, and we went the opposite direction because it was about COVID. That's why we got taken off. So we went the opposite, that the vaccine was the panacea and cured everything. And if you take the vaccine, you will not only not get COVID, but you'll make $1 million, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, nothing happened, of course. And as my mother-in-law, rest in peace, Alma, used to say when she was a little kid, life is too irony to laugh. The ironic part is all the misinformation was the people saying, take the vaccine and nothing will happen to you. Well, you won't get COVID. You can't pass COVID. You won't get sick. You won't get the myocarditis. There we go with that word again.
It's a tough word, John.
Yeah, but wifey helped me out last time. But anyway, so that was the misinformation, and it's kind of still going on out there. But
misinformation is a part of your daily life. If you watch the news, or it's just all complete misinformation.
It doesn't matter which side it's coming from either.
No, it doesn't. I like the word centralist from our boy, the shaman.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him later. He did an interview with Michael Knowles. It was interesting as hell.
I'm still intrigued about a couple of things that they talked about, those linear lines, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, weed, still good for you. The business is still changing rapidly. A lot of guys just, the way they switch the taxes over, and I think, the flooded market, but there are a lot of people being gobbled up. The Pac-Man thing is happening. They're just gobbling up the guys that are big,
Yeah, that always happens.
6 stores, 7 stores, 8 stores, 12 stores, which, are the kind of people we're looking for. So if you can,
well, it'll be
shout out to me.
Yeah, it'll be the RJ Reynolds of the world that finally start taking up all the little spots and changing their name, and maybe they'll make your company a bunch of rich guys. Who knows?
Yeah, I hope so.
But I did have a question for you, and that is, what do you sell more of, the edibles or the flower, or what's your market?
Our company doesn't make edibles. We do pre-roll joints, eighths of flour in a glass jar, ounces, 10-gram jars. We sell 5 packs of the pre-rolls. We do concentrates, but we don't do edibles. But edibles are like the number number 2 spot probably if you walk into a dispensary.
Yeah.
My mother loves edibles. Shout out to Sharon. My sister, I mean, everybody loves edibles. You know, they're just, you don't have to smoke. You just have to know your dose because,
it's your famous saying.
yeah, you can always eat more, but you can't eat less.
Right, Joel?
Yes.
We
had a picture.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we had a picture there that we're going to queue up. But anyway.
Yeah, that was really something about him. Were you eating edibles before the show, Joel?
No, it wasn't him.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. You know, you got to wonder, you know, like we were talking about briefly before we started, like the age thing, you know. I mean, we're all, you know, getting older, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you're lucky enough, right? And, you know, I mean, I notice sometimes my hearing's not what it was. And every once in a while I'll be like, where the fuck am I going? You know what I mean? Like I have to stop and think what street I'm on, you know. You got to wonder, like, is that, you know, you're starting to, you know.
Yeah. Yes, I do know. All too well.
But, you know, you've got people in power that, you know, they're fucking ancient.
Oh, man. Well, they're ancient and they're falling apart, and everybody ages differently. My mom's 97, sharp as a tack.
Still playing cards.
Yeah, still playing poker and still listening to jazz and like
heart.
that. But, you know, other people are 77 years old and can, you know, just trying to get their shoes on the right feet, you know?
Yeah.
So it's and in Congress right now, between Feinstein and Mitch McConnell and Joe, it's becoming more apparent that they've got to put some kind of a limit on it. I'm starting to think, you know.
I completely concur. It's out of control, you know, but that's again all part of what goes on in DC and with politics, you know, the greed and the power, the hunger for the power.
Yeah, well, that's what that's all about. But they're glued in. I mean, they're Elmer's glue, they're super glue, and you just cannot pry them out of those offices.
Nadler, you know, I mean, they got like AOC. Like, how long is she going to be in fucking? You know what I mean? Get rid of her.
Well, she's young though. I mean, she's in her 30s, so they can vote her out.
No, but you know, yeah.
But I'm just talking.
How long was Joe in politics for? 40 some.
Oh, he started in the 70s.
Yeah,
40 some. He was a local congressman or whatever. Yeah, and he's you know, I feel bad for the guy. We said this before.
Yeah,
in a way.
Well, I didn't always agree, but you said it before.
Yeah, I just.
I
don't like. You know, I don't like the guy. If there's anyone that's a bigger blowhard than Trump, it's him. You know, so
the guy's a fucking liar.
But still, oh yeah, he's, you know, but still,
I
feel for people like that.
Well, they're making a lot of money, so somebody's getting paid, so he could, you know, they're like, yeah, let him go. We're getting the money.
Yeah, and I think there are a lot of people in his staff and that are he's a stepping stone for them. They just want to wait till he gets out, and then they get a lobbying job, and then they're really on easy street, that's kind of the mill. That's how you know, that's how that mill works, you know. So
well, we'll see. You know, there's so much going on, and you know, I just I'm amazed each and every day at, you know, what they put out there to people, you know what I mean, and what you hear and what you see. And I mean, you know, I was up in San Francisco for the Dead, and I don't know if we've talked about that
we just talked about that you were going.
Right. So I went and saw the Grateful Dead for the last or Dead and Company, which was actually at this point 2 of the remaining members of the Grateful Dead, Mickey Hart and Bobby Weir. The shows were fantastic. The hotel was fantastic. I got to spend time with my sister and the G-ster and the dog. And I mean, just being with my sister, like we talked about briefly, like I hadn't spent, you know, just the flight alone, you know what I mean? Like,
I can imagine.
We just, you know, because we don't really get to talk if we're at a gig or we're at a family event. Like, it's not just her and I. So that was really cool. But you know, when we left there to go somewhere, and I was sitting there with Jeannie, and we walked home one night, and we talked. And you know, as much as I love her, you know, we don't always agree on some stuff, but she's family, and we're just not always going to agree on everything. People just don't, but we're able to discuss it. And we were sitting there and talking about how beautiful the city of San Francisco is, and she was like, like, what happened? I'm like, you got to wonder. Like, I looked at her and said, I don't want to get this conversation because I think I had eaten a lot of mushrooms that day, like I did every day that I was there. But, like, again, like this Tucker Carlson Ice Cube thing, where he did an interview where they drove around South Central in his hood, in his old neighborhood. And then they did it in a studio interview. And I mean, there's a guy that you wouldn't think, would even sit down with Tucker Carlson, you know what I mean? And talk about what really matters and what's really going on. Where does the fucking money go?
Yeah.
Where does the fucking money go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? San Francisco, one of the most beautiful cities. And I got to spend so much time there in the last 2 years that I've really loved the city. I mean, I like going to Oakland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's beautiful whether you're coming or going. And Oracle Park was beautiful. Gets a little chilly there in the evening. The water, the wind, and off the water by the bay.
Yeah,
there.
that's that old saying. The coldest winter I ever spent was the summer I spent in San Francisco. Yeah.
So who was it? Who?
Um,
This was the whole thing all weekend.
Oh, you were all
well. People were quoting it, and I said it was Frost, but I think it was Mark Twain.
Yeah, you're right.
They said it was Mark Twain.
Yeah.
Shout out to Angie, she was right.
Yeah.
But again, it's what is. I know the government has a role in our country, but when you send politicians or you vote politicians in to go to Washington and be your representative for Los Angeles or for the state of California or Texas or Philadelphia, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are they doing for us?
Well, yeah.
Besides taxing us and sending money to places or putting money in their pocket or just fucking giving money to their friends.
Yeah.
What are they doing for us?
Well, it's just a corporation, and they're just trying to make their corporation work. I mean, they're the corporation.
Yeah.
It's not the government. And so they're just trying to get over. And like I was talking about the staff, they just want to be lobbyists, and the people in San Francisco obviously want the power. And I think it's the stepping stone as well, of the money that you can accumulate when you're in there, and then you can just ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And then coupled with some weird ideology, and then you've got what you have in San Francisco, Chicago, and LA,
Yeah. Well, if you get a chance, whether you're left, right, or center, check out the interview with Tucker Carlson and Ice Cube.
Well, Ice Cube, he's capitalist, I mean,
they canceled him from The View.
Yeah.
He passed on a $9 million movie because he didn't really agree with that thing,
Yeah.
I don't want to say it because
yeah,
one more strike and we're off of YouTube. Not that I really give a fuck, but
yeah. Well, he's a working man. That's what he is. And so, and people that work hard and work in, and have some cognitive acuity to them, they understand that. Yeah, I'm
an independent thinker.
Up with this. Yeah, I can put up with this.
So and it was one of the coolest things that Tucker said something, and he said, so if are you really free in this country anymore? If you can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Express your opinion. I mean, without getting in a fight or some physical, verbal, fucking assaulting match, because those are always fun, but never really end well.
Those never show up for the most part. They never show up unless there's alcohol involved in person. They show up on the internet.
Yeah.
That's where they show up on Facebook and those things.
Yeah.
But they do show up with people not wanting to be around you anymore, because your political beliefs.
I'm cool with it.
I am too.
I'm cool with it.
I've got all the people around me that I love and like. So
yeah,
all the others have moved on, so to speak. But I did want to do a little movie review. It's not a new segment on podcast or anything, but
so just the talk of the town.
Well, I went to see Sound of Freedom,
and
that was what a movie. I mean, that's not very descriptive, but it's about child abduction, as most of everybody that's watching knows. I'm sorry, we're getting
Jerry Murphy.
We're getting
that's my boy over there, and
there's Tracy.
He lives across the Mersey on the other side of Liverpool.
Terry, yeah.
What's
Sue.
up?
Anyway, so we got a bunch of people. So anyway, the movie was top flight production, and Jim Caviezel, who's been in a bunch of stuff, and he's tight with that side of the aisle. But it was a dramatization. So they've gotten a lot of flack about, well, he's QAnon, he's this, he's that. And they take, like they always do, they take the political angle on things. But if 10% of this is true, even about child abduction and what they do, it was very difficult to watch. It's a great movie. I recommend anyone going to see it, but it was extremely difficult. I almost felt 5 minutes in like, I don't think I can watch this. Because it turned my stomach, because they're all 7, 8, 10, 14-year-old boys and girls, and really well done. And yeah, they took liberties. I mean, you got any movie,
Hollywood.
Yeah, you got to have that suspension of disbelief, or otherwise you're going to just be doing what we used to do. Well, I can't do that. That car couldn't jump over that type of stuff.
Well, I mean, real quick, not to interrupt, but to your point, like I remember, kids' faces on milk cartons.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like growing up, like, and you got to look back and say, what happened to all these kids?
Yeah.
I mean,
what happened to the 85,000 kids that have come over in the last, that are unaccounted for? And that's DHS. I was reading about that today. And some of them, went to sponsors and they know who they are, but most of them know. And so you got to wonder what happened to them. Everything's a grain of salt. Supposedly the United States, it has the biggest problem of child abduction and that. And we're the number one in the world. Maybe that's what they say, but who knows? Who knows? South America is pretty nasty with that as well.
Yeah. Mexico. Yeah, I'm sure. But there's money in it. You know what I mean? And there's nefarious people that have no heart, that have no values, and all they're worried about is the money, and they're going to snatch a kid up.
Yeah, because there's a market for it. Apparently, how sick is where does that come from? Where's that chemistry come from in the brain?
Well, look, there's people that can't get organs, right?
Yeah.
So they kidnap people in other countries and steal
that happens for sure.
Steal their fucking organs, for money. But it's again,
sexual exploits with minors. It just, I don't know where that comes. Where's that short circuit?
Was there anything? I haven't seen the movie yet, and I want to see the movie. I've just been kind of busy because, one of my dear friends is like, "You got to see the movie. You got to see the movie," and she's really obsessed. You know what I mean? Like, she has children now, and I think before she had children, she probably cared, but not as much as she does now.
Yeah. Well, you look at comments, and a lot of people say, "I know it's a great movie. There's no way in hell I can watch it."
Well, I mean, look, there's a lot of things that nobody wants to see or hear,
right?
But they happen each and every day.
Yeah. Well, it's a story of this guy, Tim Ballard, and he was worked for the Homeland Security, and he went out and found kids, and he saved some of them, and he kept after it. And whether you like him, there are all kinds of sites out there critical of him and what he did, and his our Underground Railroad, which they said it was stealing money and blah blah, all that stuff. Okay, fine, but that cause and the kids that he has saved and the awareness is the main thing. So, but the other thing was, and this is not about the movie, which I recommend everybody goes and sees. You'll love it, but
you'll love it after it turns your stomach.
Yeah, after it turns your stomach, if you calm down and you wipe the tear away from your eye. I hadn't been to the movies in a long time. Right?
Oh yeah, this is good. I like this.
And apparently, you don't have to pay to go see the movie.
Well, you do where I go to the movies.
Well, at the town center in Long Beach, but the box office is closed. So you go in and there are kiosks, and you go through the thing.
It's the honor system.
Swipe the card, get the thing. No one checks your ticket. You just, and it was very crowded at summertime. So and Barbie was playing, so a lot of young girls dressed in pink there, but. I don't, and so I don't understand what the thought is behind that. Maybe they think we'll just make it off the popcorn. Or
but you did at some point you interacted with a machine and your credit card or your debit card, right?
Right.
So it's very possible that somebody's watching, and if you get past a certain point, they're going to come and get you. I don't know. I'm just
I maybe, but there was no one anywhere near the kiosk. There was a little information booth. but they, they were young. Who works
Well,
it's like there's 17, 18-year-olds working at
and he's like this
working security
24/7 on his fucking phone.
Yeah, you can't even get their attention, if there's a fire in the place. So and there were a couple guys that, no, I think it was, and a friend of mine, I was talking about that with him on the golf course, and he said, he has a friend, he's 80 years old. He goes, yeah, I never pay. Well, I'm kind of proud of it, which,
like when you remember the old days of the newspapers? Used to put money in, open the thing, there'd be a stack of newspapers.
Yeah, I grab a couple.
I always took 2.
Yeah.
Well,
that's one thing, but I don't know. I've gotten to, I always pay anymore. There may be a time in my life I don't know. Yeah, I got over on him. I got to see Rambo, but not anymore.
So that case of water that's under your cart as you check out there at Ralph's or Stater Brothers,
I pay for it.
You're like, hey,
I pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The beef jerky in the pan. No, I don't.
No,
I don't do that anymore.
I get you.
But I'm so tired of freeloaders, man, and people taking advantage. That's why I pay everything anymore, So, but anyway, that was a little eye opener. So,
yeah. So any of that endochrome stuff they talk about?
Yeah, Caviezel's big on that, but that's one of those.
Anything in the movie about that?
Oh no, and there was nothing political. There was nothing political about it. It was strictly about how do we get these kids back and how do we stop this.
So it was definitely more about awareness.
Yeah, and this guy's journey and like that, and like I said, it was embellished and like that, but he ended up quitting his job so that he could get these kids because they said we can't fund you anymore.
Yeah. So
he stayed down there and got his his thing. There is one thing. There's a guy named Bill Camp who has been in stuff, and you would recognize him. And you know how when people are smoking anymore in the movies, they take a big hit, but there's no smoke comes out of their mouth.
Yeah, they're electronic.
Well, just like New York City is like the main attraction in a Woody Allen film. It's always about the city. This guy was smoking cigars. Bill Camp through the whole thing. He was kind of like a sidekick, inhaling, filling the whole scene up with smoke. It was great.
It was like 1970 all over.
Yeah, he was smoking the hell out of him. So that was kind of fun, But
I did hear one day ask you if you saw anything or heard anything about this. That some of the theaters were having issues. I mean, I've been to a lot of movies, and one time in New Jersey, back in the day, I remember I was at a movie. I probably actually had fallen asleep because I have a tendency to do that in movies, but there was like a fire alarm was pulled or something at some huge movie complex I was at. So we went out and we all waited outside. Then they're like, I called it off. Back inside. I never had a movie interrupted. I never said, well, the movie was canceled. The sound was garbled. We had to download the movie again. The air conditioners were shut. I'm like, I heard like stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah. With that particular movie, yeah, there were stories about that.
Somebody came out from AMC and was like, oh, absolutely not true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, well,
but it did happen.
But it seems like all of a sudden somebody just thought,
well, you know how people are, man. If they disagree, it's not just disagree anymore. A certain small percentage of people, it's violently disagree. And so, that's I did notice though, there were 2 people there that were playing on their phone the whole time, which if that's distracting as hell,
Shout out to Mike Bro. Peace, love, and bro. He was up with me and my old school bro from Philly. We got to see him up in the Bay. We were up for the shows.
Oh yeah. Peace through podcast.
Yeah, he's the man. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, that was it. That's all for the movie. It's a great movie. Go see it. The movie experience is cool in regards to. I forgot that it's good because you're there for 2 hours and you're wrapped.
There's just some action in the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot.
Did the bad guys get what they?
The bad guys got it. Yeah. The bad guys, good guys win.
I always, my father. Always had us rooting for the bad guy as a kid, So.
Yeah.
But,
well,
all bad guys aren't necessarily all bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even the good guys are a little bad.
Yeah. Well, it's, that's one of the, an acting thing, which is no matter how bad you are, you gotta agree. Colonel Jessup's got to get you to agree a little bit that code red should have happened.
You can't handle the truth. We already talked about this.
Yeah, you've got to empathize and relate to Colonel Jessup to make that character really happen. So.
Touch on one more thing on your movie. On the movie, I guess Mel Gibson's behind this.
He's
time.
he's part of it. And Passion of the Christ was Caviezel, and that was his movie. He directed that movie.
right.
That was another difficult one to watch.
But Hollywood apparently, from what I what's going around the airwaves,
Yeah.
Hollywood's not happy with him.
Oh.
Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
They're like, there's some shit about Oprah that's going on. Like, I don't really know. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
well, they like Mel because he makes money.
yeah,
So they
somebody
can't cancel him because he makes money.
Yeah.
His movies make money, you know. This swing thing is taking in $140 million so far.
Yeah, and then there was also people saying that the ticket sales is skewed. You know, kind of like flu deaths a couple years ago. Like
Yeah.
they're juking the stats, or they're saying the ticket sales are this, but they're not, or somebody was buying tickets for people.
Well, here's what happens. There's a at the end of the movie, Caviezel comes on and does this little kind of jag on the side, and he talking about the movie, and about paying it forward. If you know somebody that can't
right.
Yeah,
Can't afford
it, buy some tickets and give them out. Let us know. We'll let people in for free. So they're just really trying to get the word out.
The media machine is like, yeah, the numbers are bullshit, because apparently it smoked a couple other movies, and it only cost $14 million to make.
Yeah, I think it was a little more than that, but yeah, it wasn't the $100 million that it cost. It's 25 or something like that. Yeah. But they made a lot of money off of it. So.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, and they should. It's a good damn movie, you know. I haven't seen Barbie, but it may be a good one too, and it deserves to make money. I don't know.
I'm not interested.
I'm not either. But oh man, it was quite the show at the Town Center Theater.
Yeah,
everybody dressed in pink and like that. So
pink's the new black. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Anyway,
thanks for the movie critique. I want to see it. Yeah. We got something about my shirt.
Oh yeah.
What? And give up show business?
No business like show business.
Well, that's an old joke about the guy that works in the circus, but
what are you trying to say?
But it's also, you work in a bar band and the shit that you go through, and and I have to say that to myself all the time. What? And give up show business? When I'm doing the whatever it is we have to go through just to play 4 hours and be underpaid for some guy,
You sell beer in a bar.
Yeah, we're beer salesmen.
Quote from the great Tony Rodriguez.
Yeah.
We're selling beer in a bar.
Yeah.
We love to play music. We like entertaining people, but we're there to sell drinks.
When people ask me, well, what do you guys play? Whatever sells beer.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah. I played last night at the Lost Winds Brewery in San Clemente.
Yeah.
Fun times. Kentucky Playboys. It was Greg Mendoza played drums. Bruce Flint was on bass. Chris McKinney and Greg and myself.
Uh-huh.
And the place was packed when we got there.
Uh-huh.
And stayed full the whole evening. There's
That's
3
great.
breweries right there, and they were running a trolley like back and forth to all the breweries from like 6 to 9.
Where
6
is
to
it?
10.
Where is this?
Off of Pico, on the inland side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, up 2 miles on the right before the Walmart and all that stuff there.
Yeah.
It's an industrial park. I think it was Rancho San Juan Business Center, right next to City Hall.
Yeah.
Right next to City Hall.
Okay.
But a great time.
Yeah.
My sister, everybody was out. It was fun times. But again, we're playing because we love to play.
Yeah.
We're stuck there for, it took us, we had enough equipment for the Stones to play. You know what I mean? Last night, lights and, but we love it. That's why we still fucking do it.
It ain't for the money.
No.
It's like our great friend Matt Johnson, who probably will chime in sooner or later here.
American.
Matt Johnson. We have a picture of him somewhere. There he is.
Love that beard, bro.
Yeah,
I'm working on
Matt.
mine.
I called him up one time and said, "Hey, Matt, you want to play on Saturday?" He said, "I don't know. How much is it going to cost me?"
True words.
Yeah, 2 words is never spoken. But.
Unless you're a one-man band, like my Irish friend that lives just outside of Liverpool there, Mr. Jerry Murphy. Shout out to you and M. Hope the family's well.
Wow, speaking of musicians, Harry Rattling. Hey, Harry.
Hey, Harry, were you at Cook's Corner today?
He knows how to play bass a little bit.
I thought I saw him at Cook's Corner today.
Yeah. Harry's he's a great musician, good guy. I've done a lot of gigs with him. Yeah.
I haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah. So he we're talking about San Clemente. All our international fans won't know what we're talking about, but
Wasn't it the Western White House for old Tricky Dick?
Yeah, it was down south. Yeah,
Mhm.
right at that point there. Yeah, it was. I walked down there one time. I walked from the pier down there, and then I turned around and said,
You walked from the San Clemente Pier?
"Yeah, down.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Which pier are you talking
Yeah,
about?
the
Seal
San Clemente.
Beach?
There's one of those things you walk down. It's a beautiful day. We're in the sand. And I walk down. Oh, there's where Nick. Then we turned around and looked how far the pier was to walk back.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. But yeah, San Clemente. I mean, I'm gonna end up there one of these days for sure.
Yeah, pretty close to Dana Point. Less there.
Yeah.
We were talking about San Francisco. I was just before I left the house. There's these people are losing their shit in on the south side of Chicago about all the the people that are it's a sanctuary city, and like they're just like whoa, like wait a minute, you know what I mean? Like at some point it has to stop. I understand, our families all came to this country at some point, and there has to be a system in place. This administration blames that administration. You put kids in cages. Who built the cages? But the country's going to burst. There's going to be a lot.
Well,
it's a problem.
Country's not going to be able to afford a lot of it. I mean, the 4
And
million,
who's here?
the
Who's
4
here?
million, the 4 to 7 million people we don't know in the last 2.5 years that have come across. A good portion of them are going to contribute to the economy. I mean, they're going to get out there and work and do their thing. A lot aren't. And how do you absorb that? Like you were talking about in New York, and put them up in hotels. We've even had stories about people kind of being mad because they got kicked out of the hotel and causing a scene, because they didn't get room service
There's
or whatever.
a huge fucking thing today with people. It's called entitlement, right? What do you? I mean, when we were younger, like you weren't entitled. You weren't entitled to anything. You earned it.
You were entitled to go to work.
Maybe your parents helped you get it.
Yeah.
Or you didn't fucking get it.
Yeah.
Mowed
lawns or had a paper route, which we all did.
Shoveled snow, had a paper route, cut lawns, did whatever I could, hustled, sold weed. Sold weed at school.
Little did you know.
Yeah. I thought of something, but I'll tell you off air. I can't even really say it. But it hit me the other day and it was really funny. But anyway.
Yeah, so, you're however old you are, you're 50 whatever trips around the sun. 57 trips around the sun, and you're selling weed and playing in a band.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get paid for all that. Now, if I could fucking get like some golf time in there somewhere, I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I played golf with my friend Guy Magliola, who's been on the show before.
How is the Big G?
He's doing great, man. I love that guy. He
love his support.
He just got back. They were gone they were supposed to be gone 3 months, but they went for about 2.5 months and decided to turn left and get home. But across the country. Yeah. Across the country. Yeah. Just got in the car and went down to New Orleans and up to Boston and took a cruise. And so, yeah, he's
He's maximizing his minutes.
Yeah, he is, and then he had to go back. He lives in Palm Desert now.
Well, I'm sure he's hating fucking life out there.
He says, we just move a little slower during the summer. Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
Now, we played golf on Wednesday out in Murrieta, and it was 100 degrees, and we're all old fucks.
And they charged you for that?
I know. That's another story I'll tell you.
Was there a heat index? I used to play this place in Pennsylvania with my boys. It was Skip Pack. It was I bet if Mikey Brill's still listening, Mikey's a big golfer. They used to have a degree rule, right? Like, it was like $60 if it was like 40 or above, if it was 30, like I mean, you'd be out there. It'd be 20 fucking degrees in PA, right? And we'd be out there, the ball, it's like concrete. The fucking ball's just being.
I know. I've played in cold weather. Like that
just
before.
Frozen.
Well, this was hot, and it was funny because we're all friends from high school, and we expect no quarter, and we give none when it comes to giving each other shit, right?
Did you make any shekis? Did you make some money?
That's another story. But we were going at it, for 9 holes, and then kind of a little bit after 12 holes, and then like 14 through 18 was like the baton death march, man.
The gauntlet.
And we just
you guys were walking and carrying your bag?
Hell no.
Oh, I'm like, well,
hell
Jesus
no.
Christ.
Were you drinking? We ride and we hit from the whites, baby. So
I need every little advantage I can get.
So our friend Guy Walters is on, and he said it's Guy's anniversary too, Guy and Peggy.
Happy
But
anniversary.
he
Happy anniversary.
Guy is also friends with Patricia. Is it Chenier?
Chenier.
Yeah, they knew each other up in Washington. Guy he's a friend of mine from high school. He lives up in Washington.
Oh, so he knows probably Randy. Randy and I'm gonna pass you there, but yeah, Cook's Corner folks, family.
Yeah.
My sister and her thick as thieves.
Yeah.
She's at a lot of events.
I finally met her. Formally met her at our show at your mom's house. Which, speaking of which, we're going to do a Bloody Mary show there coming up soon.
Yeah,
this month.
We're waiting for those cool cats that all went to Hawaii.
Yeah,
last week. Hope you're aloha. Hope you're having a good time over there.
Yeah, Rod Cook, what up?
Rod Cook, my boy Rod Claffington. What's up, bro?
So what else were we talking about here? Oh, the shaman guy.
Oh, dude.
Could you bring him up one more time, Joel? You listened to it. He did that's Michael Knowles on the left there. He's not the shaman. But anyway, he did a 2-hour interview with the guy, and he went into the weeds. The shaman went into the weeds and quite a bit. And
the good weeds?
Yeah, but he's sharp as hell, man. That guy, he's one smart guy. And as he goes into later on in the interview, he just starts talking about how you control populations, and he uses examples throughout history and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it was an eye opener. But the one thing he did say, I don't know where you got this number, but he said, when you've got all these people that just end up, being zombies and following whatever the government says, he said it really only takes about 5 to 10% of the population to ask questions and not give in. And that's enough to stall it. Mao and Stalin, they had 100% of the people under their thumb. And because if they weren't under their thumb, they just killed them.
Well, that's another thing that's really only keeping us, from that happening here. You know what I mean? That and the 4 million plus guns that are in the country.
Yeah, but he's
Second Amendment.
Yeah, he was a sharp guy, man. I was really impressed, and I don't know. He's Navy vet and all that stuff, and I didn't really get an explanation as to why he dresses the way he does and the shaman thing. But
that's because of when he decided about religion, and he said when he was like 10 or 11, he said that he noticed like these guys, like it was always the guys in the movies, you know what I mean, the witch doctors or
right.
That like they had this extra something that other people didn't have,
right?
And he wanted to know what that was,
right?
And he said whether it was he said something about stealing some wine and blessing some bread and getting drunk on the wine and having an experience. He talked about mushrooms, psychedelics, weed.
He also said something I thought was interesting. He said, no matter what the religion, they're shamans. The people that do the religion, they're shamans. Really, it doesn't matter.
Is it the priest? Is it the
the pastor?
The rabbi,
the imam, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah,
they're all kind of shamans. So, but it's
though they're supposed to be connected on a different level than you or
yes, but and some people get spoken to. So I've never heard it, but some people do. And I can't. The older I get, the less I discount things that are possibilities. Yeah, well, it could be.
A lot of these conspiracy theories have all come true recently.
Yeah, well, they have, but so he's a pretty religious guy. His name's Jacob, and when he was in jail, he said, I said, I needed a sign, man. God, give me a sign.
Open up the Bible.
So I opened the Bible. Boop, Jacob.
he put his finger on I can't remember the exact quote, but
yeah.
He did 10 months in solitary.
Yeah.
They still have the shaman outfit.
Yeah.
Which he said was made up of coyote skins and coyote tails, because I guess in that American Indian culture, he's the trickster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'll either end up in the Smithsonian or on eBay.
Yeah. They have his staff. They have his headpiece, his phone, and something else.
Well, he got another one. another outfit because that's what he was
Yeah.
wearing on the interview. So
Yeah. And that was somewhere in Arizona
yeah,
in a warehouse
yeah,
because he's not allowed to leave the state.
yeah.
So that guy, your boy, traveled to see him. But yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I listened to a lot of it on the way over here.
It's in the warehouse with the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in that warehouse, right?
Yeah, don't worry. Indiana Jones is going to find that soon. That or
yeah, I haven't seen that movie.
yeah.
I heard it was okay though. I don't know.
I mean, I
Whatever.
yeah.
He's 80-year-old guy. He's milking it, man.
Yeah, everybody's milking it.
What the hell?
Everybody's
Well, you get guys like that, and that's another thing about you get that age. You either play out the string or you get after it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
and he's getting after it. So good for him.
yeah. Making money for his grandkids or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he's
Trying to write his piece in history.
Yeah.
He'll be gone, but that movie will be around forever. You know, I guess a lot of people.
Harrison Ford's a carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a working guy, and I think he's a lunch. We've talked about musicians and gigs, a lunch pail gig.
Right. Sure.
He's a lunch pail guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Likes to knock him back, from what I understand, too.
Yeah. No.
Maybe
Maybe that's why he crashed his plane two different times.
Yeah, apparently I heard that about him.
Yeah. So anyway,
I can't even see him. So if you're reading comments,
yeah, there are a bunch of them there I probably didn't get to, but
we appreciate you guys.
Anybody that shows up, if you want to, you could go to YouTube and look up PotcastsRUhl and give us a like and subscribe and all that pitch that you hear from everybody.
Or Rumble.
Yeah, everybody talks. That's how everyone else starts out their podcast.
Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe
before they say anything.
Say how you doing. Now,
but we do have a Venmo because we're trying not to make this a
well, we haven't made charity. A dime yet.
Yeah, so
that's not true. Didn't Shelly send us money?
Yeah,
once?
we have somehow, and we have some. I think we have like $50 in our Venmo account.
Really?
No idea where it came from.
Yeah.
But,
anonymous is always cool.
Yeah, so that's all fine. We're having fun doing it anyway. So
yes, we are.
Just I don't know that Joel has that much fun.
Yeah. Well, I try to feed him and pay him, but aside from that, I mean, if he smoked weed, he'd be everything fucking Fat City.
That's what the show's about.
He's
Well, I'm glad he isn't smoking weed.
Yeah. Well, probably some of these podcasts in this little room. I bet if I'm smoking weed, he's getting high.
Yeah.
We used to do the Smoker's Choice in here. I know he was getting
yeah, that's true.
With me, Will, and Will. Oh
yeah.
My God, that was crazy.
And that was the show. We did those shows where the guy had like a 4-foot bong or something, and somehow he filled that thing up, took it all the way down to his booty, man.
Yeah.
And didn't cough. Just blew it out.
Well,
he's
the room. Young, and he's an experienced smoker, but
young and strong.
Yeah. Shout out to Will of Fortune. Smoke everywhere. And my boy Will PhD's getting ready to have a baby like any day.
Yeah.
Any day. Bless his heart. Bless you and your family, bro.
So what else? We were talking about the UFO thing won't go away.
Well, every time there's something else that's important, they throw that UFO thing out there.
See, there they are.
Wow. Can you say gay?
Yeah, I don't know. No, you can't say gay.
I like a wreck.
Anyway, so this guy, David Grush, who's the whistleblower for that, he said, oh, yeah, we pulled out non-human remains. Yeah.
Yeah,
we did.
Well, you know what? I was listening to, I think it was Joe Rogan said, and I can't remember who he was talking to. The guy was just on Gutfeld, too. But he's like, at this point, all they really want to do is just not let it get out now. Right? Like, just like the COVID shit, you know what I mean? Like, well, 2 years from now, it's okay that maybe the mask didn't work and the vaccine
doesn't work.
Yeah. And the numbers were skewed. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter because that was 2 years ago.
I know.
That's like so yesterday.
That is the weirdest. That's the weirdest rationale.
JFK or all these, all the shit that we like.
It's the weirdest rationale. One of the reasons is because
it fucking works. People.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. Yeah, but it worked 2 years ago.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen 2 years from now.
It's gonna continue to keep working. That's the problem.
Well, and where was it up in Fresno? They just found another lab that makes that makes the vaccines.
Oh.
And they've got all these mice that they found that were injected to see about how to stop and keep going COVID. Yeah, in Fresno. And it was in a warehouse where they were just supposed to be making, the vaccine and a couple of other things. It's a lab in Fresno.
At breakfast this morning. So I got my I drug the old Harley out of the garage a couple weeks ago. David, shout out to Hillbilly Dave, love you. He's he sent the tow truck over, picked up the bike, got it all fixed. So he's been bugging me to buy a new motorcycle and ride with him and my sister and Dan and stuff. And so we went to breakfast and we were sitting there at breakfast and somehow the conversation came up and it might have been Curly Sue. She said, "Yeah, my customer is on her 5th vaccine." And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you what to do or not what to do. Seek medical advice from somebody other than a stoner that plays music and sells weed. But 5 vaccines.
I know it, man. I know it.
5 vaccines.
And we don't get much of the data here like they get over in Europe. They're a little more on it, but they've all stopped it. They've all stopped taking. They realize,
poof, it went away.
Yeah,
maybe they should work as hard on fucking cancer, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's I'm hoping that the AI thing, before it decides that we're carbon units and they want to kill us, it wants to kill us all, which will happen. That we
are,
they
do,
So that's what's eventually. But before that, it's so amazing what it can do and how fast it can do things that maybe they'll find a cure. Maybe it will find a cure. There's no they. There's no they there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If there's no money in it, they're not interested in a cure.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's not going to go away, because there is money in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do the books, right? The narration, and I haven't done one in a while. But
Johnny has a very famous voice. If you guys didn't know that,
but
he does like the books on tape kind of stuff. But I don't think they're tapes anymore.
No, they're just on your phone. But there's a service where I go to look for auditions, and there were always 2,000 books there that needed narrators.
Right.
And it's about 400 now. And
really, how much money's in it? How long does it take?
Give
me the fucking book. I'll do it right now.
It's the same thing as music.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta like to do it, and you make some money, and that you make walking around. The big guys, like anything else, the guys that the guy that did Atlas Shrugged, he made a bunch of money for that.
Right.
But the rest, other than that, a lot of self-published. But the reason I was saying that there aren't so many books anymore, I think it could be because of the AI, because all they have to do is get 3 or 4 of your words, and all of a sudden, I may have a book out there I don't even know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they get 3 or 4 of your words. It gets 3 or 4 of your words, and all of a sudden, there you go. Yeah. They can read a whole book. Yeah, you can read a whole book. So I don't know if that's why it's drastically gone down. That's a lot, from 2,000 to 400 books that are up for audition. So
somebody found a lucrative way to make money from home in a studio, and they don't have to go to work. I mean, it's a big thing. The news is talking about how so many people just buildings that are leased. We were in San Francisco, and next to the hotel we were staying at was the largest convention center in the city, and there's no business downtown.
Yeah,
nobody goes. 60% of people work from home.
Yeah,
and between the crime downtown, nobody wants to go there.
Well, but there are still sections of San Francisco that are okay, right?
There are some stuff that's not too bad probably during the day, but it's the car thieves.
Yeah.
There was a lady, I watched the thing about a lady in Oakland, that she works in one of the nicer parts, and the people that parked next to her had their car stolen.
Yeah.
You can still see the glass on the pavement.
Yeah. Well, they don't, aren't going to do anything about it.
No, that's the whole, and again, that's one of those things, Yeah. I have empathy for people that, are down on their luck and have troubles, and even people that have, addiction issues. Let's get them some help. If
there is help. There is help. There is help. If you're the person, if you've lost your job, you're living in your car, there's help out there. You just can't get high when you're getting the help. And that's
the biggest problem.
That's why they don't want the help.
Yeah, no, I remember we played that. We played that homeless encampment. Remember?
Yeah, on the riverbed on the 57 freeway. Or
Angel Stadium.
Yeah, you could see Angel Stadium there, and
almost under just not too far from the A.
Yeah,
it was so enlightening that day.
Oh man, I came away thinking, these guys, man.
I saw a couple of people that I think had some true mental issues. And I saw a couple of people that looked like they were normal folks just trying to get by, maybe down on luck. But I saw a fuck ton of drug addicts and alcoholics. You know, like,
So what Richie's talking about is, of this 6 or 7 years ago, somebody called us up and said, "Can you guys play some music? We're going to have lunch for this encampment down here." So we took a little skeleton bit of equipment there and played some music, and that's what it was, And they fed them lunch and like that. But most of the guys, there were a few people talking to the tree, but most of them were just there to get high. You could tell,
and the animals aren't being cared for properly. And,
yeah,
I noticed bike parts are a big thing with homeless folks. Any homeless encampment or large gathering that I see wherever I go in the state of California, there's huge amounts of bike parts, bike frames, bike tires, trucks, goosenecks, handlebars. Like, they got piles of shit. Like, so.
Well, that's the mode of transportation.
Yeah. Yeah. I just, again, it's the year 2023, and why are we not treating each other better as human beings? I just don't fucking get it.
Well, we were also going to talk about, what's going on with Trump and Joe, but it's just, I don't even, Trump's got a whole bunch of new, so I don't even care, man.
They're throwing shit out there.
I don't even care. And there's all this stuff that's going on with Biden. I mean, they're going to get him. They can't do anything to a sitting president, but who knows what's going to happen. But it just keeps coming, and I don't even. They got him for jaywalking, parking tickets. They're going to get Trump. We're indicting him who knows what they're going to do. I can't even keep up.
I laugh.
I've lost interest in all of it.
Yeah, I don't really care.
It's just a vindictive, bunch of shit.
I just keep, hops number 9 on the old steel, and maybe stack some water, some batteries. You never know. Hey, maybe it won't happen in my lifetime, and I hope it never has to. But I don't see it changing any other way.
Yeah, and I don't know how this homeless thing's going to change either. I don't know. Anybody can, maybe somebody can chime in and with a.
Well, Newsom said once they made him, wasn't he mayor of San Francisco, right?
Oh yeah, he was going to get rid of. Yeah, he was going to get rid of it.
So many years. Yeah, he won't take any questions on that now.
No,
Maxine Waters.
Well, actually,
any of these huge, Democratic cities, like, I mean, again, it's not just, there's homeless everywhere, and I'm not necessarily trying to, put it on anybody, but they seem to be doing a lot worse than some of the other cities.
Yeah. They do. I mean, San Clemente's got a problem,
Oh yeah.
We were playing at Ivy Lee's and somebody threw a rock through the window.
That sucked. Yeah. Speaking of playing, you got any shameless plugs coming up?
I'm going to be at the Cliff. Yeah, next Friday.
Oh, you playing at the Cliff?
Yeah, with
Tightrope?
Bobby Gray.
With Bobby.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bobby Gray.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of pictures of him on social media lately.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Let me tell you something. He is one cool cat.
Yeah, he's
surfer, Southern California. He's a great family man.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and he
fantastic musician.
Yeah, he knows how to grab them too. He's
an entertainer.
Yeah, he does a really good job with the crowd.
Plays flute, plays sax.
Yeah, he sings, and he doesn't really take breaks. That's probably, if there was one thing.
Note to self. Listen, can somebody get a hold of Bobby Gray's people?
But other than that, yeah, he's great. And then the following,
he's maximizing his minutes, John.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
He's doing it for life.
Yeah,
he's not doing it for the coins, obviously, which we're not.
Yeah.
He's a lunchbox guy, like we talked about.
Yeah, he is. But he's great. He's fun to play with, and I like the guy. And
Sawdust Festival, he would always stop by when the Dups were playing.
Yeah.
Jesus, they were handsome. He'd bring a little horn and do a set with us, and
he came and sat with the Strays one time. It was the first time I met him, but
he did a long time ago too. I think with the Rocker Arms, we were somewhere.
So he's anyway. I'm gonna
get a chance to see him, Bobby Gray. Look him up.
He will be at the Cliff next week, and then the rest of the month I'm with Tightrope, and it's all busy and 3-4 days a row and blah blah blah. So how about you?
I played Cooks last week. It was hotter than shit. Last night I had a gig at the Lost Winds Brewing Company in San Clemente, and I'm playing a private party on Saturday night, which I thought I asked you, but I think I got the Saturdays crossed.
Oh, I think so. Yeah,
you're working next Saturday night, right?
I'm out of town next Saturday.
Oh, that's what it was. You weren't available, okay? Because I thought, everybody. There was a lot of people that were unhappy that you weren't going to make it. My sister's like, John's not on the gig. I'm like, I asked him a while ago.
It's a party, right?
Yeah, it's Doggy and Jeannie's
Yeah, that's
birthday
right.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you had a gig. But anyway, sorry, sidebar there.
All right.
Yeah, back to your regularly scheduled program.
Sharon Wyatt's watching. Went to school
Hey,
with her.
hey.
Went to school. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Sharon. Oh, there she goes. We just hit her. But anyway, yeah. Had a lot of people chime in today. That's great.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, not necessarily music. I think don't we have a gig coming up sometime?
yeah, it's a private gig at the country club.
The country club.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with the Playboys.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Greg just called me about that, and I'm doing in Silverado Canyon. They have, it's kind of like a concert in the park. I'm doing that with Bobby Gray on the 19th. So
okay.
yeah, it's a beautiful park up there, and it's a lot of fun. So
yeah, I just had the opportunity the first time to get down to the concerts in the park in Dana Point. My aunt and uncle were in from Louisiana, and they wanted to go see. It was like a Journey cover band,
yeah.
and then I think the Jumpin' Jack Flash played after.
Yeah.
Place was fucking mobbed.
Yeah.
We went down there late.
Yeah.
I couldn't even park.
Yeah.
Have you been down there?
Which one again?
It's the one by the Ritz-Carlton there, like between Dana Point and Laguna Beach.
Yeah, I haven't
Oh
been.
my God, we went down. Like I had to drive. I just drove home and Ubered back down because I couldn't find a place to park. Then I got inside the park. Like people get there 5 a.m.
Wow.
It was really cool. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Yeah, set up. Just it's huge.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, 5 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan Osterhout. Now, this guy is one of my best friends. There's not a better guy in the world than Alan Osterhout, man. I love him. But he was a guy I was playing golf with on Wednesday.
Listen, so type and tell us the truth. Did Johnny take some money or is he bullshitting me? He's a lefty.
That's true. A guy is too. So.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well,
golf's fun. It's not
rare.
It's not what it used to be for me, but I still get out there with my friends. It's all about the hang now.
Yeah. And busting balls.
And
you missed that? You fucking missed that?
Yeah, and busting balls.
Does your wife play?
Yeah. How did that not go in? That's amazing. Wow. You only missed it by 4 feet.
Yeah. Club up next time. Used to have so much fun. Yeah, golf,
Yeah, we haven't golfed in a while. What happened to tournaments? We used to go to tournaments together. And,
yeah, we did. We got busy, I guess. I don't know. COVID, probably.
I don't know.
Listen, COVID killed 2 bands of mine.
Yeah.
I know. Like all kinds of stuff.
But I don't know who I was talking to about something about. I was complaining as usual about the club, but and whoever I was talking to goes, yeah, probably COVID, huh? COVID was 2 years ago. No, it was COVID.
Well, but there was shrapnel.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
there was shrapnel. It's like shit went.
There's still a stench going on, but yeah, people are still getting shit about not taking vaccines and all that stuff. So
bless their hearts, John.
I know, bless their hearts.
A wise man once told me, just look at him, smile, and say, "Bless your heart."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm maximizing my minutes. I don't really need any negativity.
Oh, here we go.
Who's this?
Oh, Alan. Yeah, I don't want to read that.
Joel, what's it say? Wait a second here now.
I don't know what's.
Oh, what's this?
There he is. There he is.
John's a great player and always takes the money. 3 lefties and 1 righty. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Thank you, sir.
Alan's one of the best people I know.
Yeah.
He's going through some stuff right now, so we hope he does everything it takes to get through that stuff. But
we're sending you some super cool energy from right here, brother.
Yep. So
yeah.
Anyway,
everybody's going through something. That's something to remember in life. I'm feeling shamanish because I got high, but life is short, and you don't really. Just do your best to try to help people, enjoy yourself, have a good time, be safe, you don't have to be a hero. Look out for other folks if you can. And, don't be hating, there's only one race. It's the human race. I get so sick of the race thing anymore, like it's just a card that's just thrown out there way too easily. Well, and these people, it's just some TikTok stuff. It really bothers me, what I mean? Like, again, why aren't we treating each other better? Like, who's in control of how people think and what they see and how they feel and where their core values come from? Who's in charge of, Who's in charge of
You
just
are.
lining everybody up? You know what I mean? Like
We are.
that's what. That's
Well,
what
the thing,
needs to
the
be
issue is
done,
nobody
you
can
know?
take anything for face value anymore.
No, I mean,
Just like the movie Sound of Freedom. Nobody can just look at it and say, this is a big problem with these kids that are being abducted and sexually abused. It's got to be QAnon's got to come into it,
right?
you know?
Which is kind of where I was like, think, question. I mean, you don't have to just
Yeah.
Just who wins? Like, why does it work that way? Like it doesn't make sense. A lot of things just don't make sense to me, and I'm not always right, and maybe I'm wrong about a lot of stuff. But
Well,
again, I try to stick to what feels right. I always try to do my best to do what's right.
most people do.
Yeah,
Most people do.
and
Most
whether
people,
whether you're
Yeah.
whether you again, I think it was our boy the shaman who said in the interview, there's things that I like from the left side, and there's things that I like from the right side. I'm a big weed guy. Mushrooms and marijuana should be legal. You know what I mean? Trump people
won't be long.
But a guy I fucking can't stand, our boy Schumer, right? Chucky, he's lobbying to get the banking thing, the federal government, and that's when it will, be like, Jack Daniels or Budweiser or whatever. They're going to be able to ship it anywhere in the country,
Mm-hmm.
which would be great for, the industry that I'm in and for people to get good weed, whether it's for medicinal purpose or recreational purposes. But, it just, we people need to have discussions.
Yeah.
And people need to, I mean, the planet's definitely a problem, right? But I don't think it's a problem on the scale that a lot of people think it is, because
No, I agree with you. I mean, there's a path that we're heading down, and it's tenuous. I mean, it could go either way.
electric airplanes and different things and windows. I get it, but we can't jump. You know what I mean? It's like baby steps kind of thing. Like, let's have a plan. You know what I mean? Let's have some and roll it out slowly over time. Like just shoving shit down everybody's throat all the time about whatever the fuck it is.
Well,
like
the
in
thing,
your face bullshit is
and the thing we've talked
not
about
helping.
about selling soap, that it leads type thing. In reality, the world is not in that horrible shape. There are no world wars. The poverty is not what it used to be. Hunger's not what it used to be. There are all these things that can make life great for people.
Yeah.
And it can be good, and there are a lot of things that are good. It's just we have this preoccupation. What I liked it when baseball was the national pastime and not being offended.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it's turned into,
Any of those sports like that. It's just, everybody's got an issue with women's basketball or
there you go. There you go. All it was who's leading the league in home runs. That's all we cared about.
Something just came about women's soccer.
They're the soccer. They don't stand, or they don't put their hand over the heart. And then Rapinoe, she doesn't care if men play. Of course, she's retiring, so she doesn't care.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother. We'll do that next show. We'll do that next show.
I don't even want to do it.
Next show. But
I don't even
because
that's to me,
women have rights.
Absolutely.
And they've got them because they've been stepped on by men. Well, guess what? Men are coming in and taking those rights from them. It's if it wasn't so serious, it's comical. Is
the word counterintuitive?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Again,
life is too irony to laugh, as Alma said.
Life is short, and like I said, you need to maximize your minutes. We hope you guys are well, and we appreciate y'all tuning in. And like Johnny said, like and subscribe or share or tell somebody about it. Are we wrapping it?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Are we wrapping?
It's been fun, man.
Yeah. Listen, well, everybody have a great week. Again, thanks for tuning in. Remember, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Live and love like you mean it. As I mentioned, life is short. You got to hustle hard and never trust a living ass. Peace. Much love. Thanks, guys.